Welcome back to Safas Unscripted, episode 131. No Brev on tonight. He's starting his preparation for his rugby match. They've got like a jersey handover and stuff, but obviously joined by Brett. Brett, how are we doing?
Yeah, moi. The Breven situation is quite cool because he's playing in the Gold Cup. Last 16, he plays for, well, quite literally the top 16 clubs in South Africa. So that's quite cool.
Yeah, of course. So we'll excuse him. It's a valid reason. Anyway, but Brett, final weekend of the Rugby Championship. It's all come down to this. Could have been decided last weekend. We've still got the title to play for. There's a lot of pride to play for in both games. There's only one piece of silverware that's already been handed out, and you call this the wooden spoon. And Australia has taken the claim to that one, unfortunately. But
yeah,
how excited are you for this weekend? Are you a bit nervous? Are you one of those nervous Safas?
No, not at all. I've been telling everyone I walk into that I'll put money on it, that South Africa is winning by more than 20 points. It's going to be...
Wow.
The fact that Argentina made 8 changes, they've ruined their continuity. They're coming to South Africa. South Africa's never lost at Nelspruit. I can't see Argentina making any inroads, and I think this is a very angry South African side because the world has pretty much laughed in our faces. We're the world champions, and because we lost by 1 point in Argentina to Argentina, every single content creator in the world is mocking us. So I want South Africa to not only obliterate Argentina, they must shut the world up.
Yeah, it has to be a stamp of authority. It has to be a statement performance. Obviously, we're not going to make that excuse and say it was a B team or anything like that, right? Because we brag about our squad depth. Our team of last week should have got the job done. Let's not act and beat around the bush. Well done to Argentina. Like, they showed real fighting spirit coming back from, what was it, 17-0 down. Like they played some quality rugby. But let's also not beat around the bush with the fact that Marcus Cremor is out. Pablo Matera has been moved to the bench. They've got a lot of backline changes, and I'm pretty sure. Like, do you think it's a thing where they kind of want to neutralize the backs, or not the backs, the bench that we are bringing on, that they have the experience on the bench, or what do you think the thought process was around that?
That was exactly my thinking. I think they want to match us in the second half, which for me I think that's a big mistake. Contepomi is a good coach, inexperienced coach, but he's proven his worth so far. But the concern for me is he's being Icarus. He's flying too close to the sun. He's trying to be a smart ass. And I think that it's not just going to be 17-0, but it's going to be 28-0 by the time that bench comes on and tries to save the game. So I think he's making a mistake. I'm being overconfident, but you're going to see on Saturday, rightly so.
The reason that I kind of feel confident with it, right? I see what he's trying to do. I'm not going to be deluded, right? But the issue is, I kind of think they're underrating the Manie Libbok effect. Now, I'm not here trying to big Manie up, right? But if you want to play Manie, you have to have that structured defense that has, like, they have chemistry, they rush him, that he doesn't know what to do. But if you go with a team that hasn't really played together, and it kind of feels to Manie like it's any form of franchise rugby vibes, Manie will play franchise rugby. Yes. And he is sensational at playing franchise rugby. You give him time on the ball or something to create something out of nothing, he will do that. And I think, like, to have all your experience there, but still have like the new guys having to face Dialinda and Creel, having to face the creativity of Manie Libbok, having to face Cheslin Colby and Kurtley Arendse. Like, I would have played your experienced boys for as long as possible, make this game as dirty as possible, and get your boys to actually just attack the ball, because we've already got the physical upper hand. To remove your whole back line just doesn't make sense to me. It just doesn't make sense. You have to have some form of experience. especially when you already know you're going to get blitzed physically. You take Pablo Matero, who was a menace last week, off. You want to play him for at least 60 minutes. And now they're
Minimum.
gone.
Yeah. Agreed. And also on the Mani front, I saw that Cheslin Colby will be kicking for goal this weekend. So that means
Officially.
no, not officially. Don't quote me, but every single rumor that I've heard has said that Colby is kicking for goal.
I love it.
Yeah, so that means a pressure-free Mani Labok is going to destroy. Like, oh my goodness, I can't wait to see this guy run through them like a hot curry, straight through like a hot curry.
Yeah, the thing is, when Mani came on last weekend, obviously that final attack, we didn't go anywhere. They turned that ball over because we were just trying to keep that game compact. But before that, you saw how quickly Mani just switches that ball from left to right. Had the Argentinian defense defending for their lives. Obviously, well done to Argentina defending for the period that they did. But now you have Mani that can potentially play 60 minutes, for instance, and you have to defend like this all over the park for 60 minutes. That drains you. And that's how I think we win this game. By doing what they did to us, somehow we were the tired team, even though we were attacking. Make them tired, defend the whole time. And at the end of the day, right, obviously you want to win this game. But the way that I want to win this game is making sure that they never even get a sniff of that bonus point. So even if that, let's not do 45-meter kick at goals where it's like, okay, it's a pressure game and we kick 7 penalties and they score 3 tries. I don't want to get to that point.
Yeah.
Go to touchline and back your lineup for once, because we're struggling lineouts. This is the perfect game to actually try and achieve that. Get the tries. Make sure that they're never in reach of that bonus point, and you will get the win as well. That's how I feel we win this game.
Especially considering that Eben Etzebeth becomes the most capped Springbok in history this weekend. The lineout general, he's going to be hungry to have the performance of his life. I guarantee you that man's going to be unstoppable. And he's going to say to Sia, we're going for lineouts because it's time that we shine. So I agree with you there. I think it's going to be – I don't know why, but my gut is honestly telling me that South Africa is going to destroy Argentina.
I'm not on the fence with whether it's going to be close or a big margin. I don't necessarily know about destroy because I know they will be ready for the game. I know we will be ready for the game. So I'm in the range of like 10, 12, 15 points. But like comfortably, maybe they score consolation try like we are 19 in the lead and they score 1 at the end, make it 12 points, right? Like I'm kind of in that boat, but I don't think we'll ever sit, oh shit, are we actually going to do this? Like, to be fair, they have to score 3 more tries than us. If we never just go for penalties, we just go for tries. I'm dead sure they're not getting that bonus point victory in the first place. But me too, I kind of feel confident, because we've seen it this season. Before the season started, right? We said we want to see an undefeated season. Obviously, we didn't get that, but we're not going to allow ourselves to lose to Argentina twice. We've kind of finally taken that step where we've embraced the favorite cards. Usually when we are the favorites, we somehow find a way to, in the past, we have lost against Argentina. We've been the favorites, but not beaten New Zealand. We've lost to, we would lose to Ireland or on tour and we'd have a scrappy win or whatever over Wales. But this season, we've beaten Ireland once, right? Obviously, the second time we were favorites as well, but lost that one. We were the favorites against the Wallabies, didn't lose. We were the favorites against New Zealand, won. It finally feels like we've taken that step. And everyone talks about South Africa needing to be the best team in the world or to ever grace this earth. Well, we have to embrace that favorite tags like the All Blacks did and actually win the rugby championships in between. And I kind of feel like the boys, they know we need to do this. This is the first step. This is the one that we should be winning, the one right after the World Cup, because we just won the World Cup. Yes, so our boys will know that. They know the backlash that will come from it if we don't win this rugby championship, especially if we lose it to Argentina. So I've got full backing in the boys to actually get the job done. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm very happy that it's come down to the last weekend. Because think about this. I don't know if Nelspruit would have been sold out if it was a dead rubber game. I don't know if we would have seen this strong team if it was a dead rubber game. Um, that's what I'm saying. I'm quite happy that it is the way it is, because now we're going to shut the whole world up. Rassi said from the beginning, right after the World Cup, exactly what you just said, that we need to pounce on winning the World Cup. We need to win the next tournament as well, and the next tournament, and the next tournament. There's no point in being that team that only plays well in World Cups, because that's what we've been labeled as. We are labeled as the team that plays well in World Cups, and everything else in between, quite shit.
Yeah. Do
So
you kind of think it plays in our favor that we lost last weekend in terms of winning this weekend? Like it was a wake up call for us to say, listen, okay, because now there's a bit of controversy hanging around us, and that's kind of what we feed on usually, because we like this underdog story. Not that we are underdogs all of a sudden, but now that there's a bit of controversy, usually South Africa goes and we set the record straight. Do you believe that is kind of the story?
Yes, yes, and no. Yes, because the players that are coming in for those guys that didn't play, that played last week, those players know that now we have to step up, because we are now being entrusted to win the rugby championship, and those guys messed up. So yes for them, and then no for the rest. Yeah, if that answers your question.
Yeah. Just a final question on it. And obviously, people, we've been very biased. Okay, we are South Africans. We want to win the rugby championship. We'll speak about the other teams more in depth, but we don't know everything about Argentina, right? The very anonymous team to us as fans.
Yeah.
Do you get a bit stressed? Because I saw a post on X today, like of our team's age and what age they'll be at, for instance, the next Rugby World Cup. I know it's a bit off topic, but when do you see us, what rugby championship in between now and then will we start seeing the new boys coming through, the likes of a Ethan Hooker, for instance, or more of Kanan Moody, or those type of players?
I think everything's going to happen next year. Beginning end of year to and now, there's going to be a few surprises that are going to go on tour. But then next year, I think these guys are going to be thrown into the deep end, and that will be Rassi's experiment year, like he normally does right after the World Cup. Now I think win the rugby championship, and then the next year try stuff like that, where I guarantee Ethan Hook is going to be in there. If we can get from Wyk back to his best, that'll be
Hartzenberg,
cool.
Cameron
Hartzenberg.
Hallekom.
Oh my word! We have so many young, talented players in this country that it's almost uncanny to think about it. We can make a debutant team out of all these players, and those players will still, and that team will still beat at least 50% of the world's teams.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some proper talent coming through, and I'm very excited to obviously see them. We have youngsters already there, so it won't be a totally new squad. Like obviously, there's still experienced boys that will still continue, the likes of Evan Etzebeth, for instance. But we'll still see Damian Willems, for instance. He's still young, but he's got that experience now as well. So there's still a lot of experience with the young talent. So it won't feel like a total rebuild, but I'm kind of already excited for that, because people are talking about like our age being at 32, and like it will feel like an average squad age of 34 by the next World Cup if we continue like this. But we won't play the same team the next World Cup, like
No.
at all. These guys have played since 2019 till now, almost every single game. It is time for a rebuild, but we'll get onto that after the Rugby Championship. We'll focus on this weekend alone. Did you want to add anything else to South Africa versus Argentina before we go on to Australia and New Zealand?
Yes, I do. I actually want to add that I think a guy like Peter Steph Toy, if a player just like him on his own can have anything he had half as good as he did in the World Cup final, I think that's going to put so much pressure on, I forget his name, the fly off of
Bornos.
yeah, what's his name?
Oh, yeah, now you've lost me. Let me check.
I think it's Matiz or something. Yeah, let me know.
Thomas.
Thomas. Okay.
Thomas Albanos.
Yeah. So I think if he has, it's going to take one tackle from Peter Steph Toy, because Peter Steph Toy doesn't just tackle you, go down, play. He tackles you and you stay tackled. And that plays off
Jordan
in
would
a
know.
yes, that plays off in a player's head. So I think if we can get Peter Steph to play 50% what he did in the World Cup final, I think that alone is going to be the deciding factor of this game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I fully agree. Our forwards will have to play a massive part, especially at the breakdown. We know, like, they won't necessarily physically drive over us and stuff, but they are so good at the breakdown, making it scrappy, getting their hands in the ruck and those type of things. So our boys, they will know. They saw it last weekend, how good they were at the breakdown. Obviously, there's no problem, Matera, right? That is a massive win for us, seeing that Matera isn't there. But our boys, they will know what to be ready for. We beat them at the scrum time. We'll still have beat our scrum stronger now than last weekend. I think the big thing for us is just the lineouts. If we can execute at lineout time, I know Mani put a ball out on the full or kick the ball dead, but he kicks the ball in the corner. He gives you opportunities from that lineout. And if we
Yes.
can get our lineouts right and use our physicality to drive over them, just drain them physically, our back line could have a field day. Our forwards could have a field day. We have to see last week as just a slip up. That's what it feels like. We can't.
Mm-hmm.
People are talking about this being a new Argentinian team. Well, this new Argentinian team lost against the world's worst ever Wallabies team. They still
Yeah.
got 40 points put on them by the All Blacks. You
Yes.
know, like, come on.
That's
This
what I'm
is
saying.
not.
Also, what people fail to realize is that yes, last week, back in the day, we would have all said, "Who cares? That's our B team. That's our B team." But because us as Sappers hate it when other teams use that lingo as it's their B team, because that's the team that you chose for the day. Yes, they're not our original starters, but our B team, if you will, lost by 1 point in Argentina. And you
Yeah.
want to tell me that they made 8 changes, lost one of their best players, dropped one of their other best players, and they're going to come cause an upset in South Africa at a place where South Africa has never lost before? Like, get real.
Yeah.
Not happening.
Yeah. Let's hope this doesn't bite us in the ass. Like,
It won't. I'll put money on it. I'll put my house on it.
Brett, you already know I do put money on it. I do put money
Yes.
on it.
Yes.
Either use code casual on Betway or code Brett Burns if you'd like to put your money where your mouth is. Anyway, because both of us are affiliates. So yeah. Anyway, but I'm still pretty sure it's going to be an absolutely brilliant game. I think the guys will be out on their feet at the end of the game. We'll be jumping for joy, hopefully, and maybe you'll get another little lovely TikTok drunk review. I mean, that's usually what happens when the Springboks play, unless they play at 1 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was just like, yeah, I can't be bothered to even drink. Like, it's just one of those things. Anyway, let's move on. Let's move on. All Blacks in Wellington. You love a record there. The All Blacks renowned for having great winning records. They've got a shit record at Wellington, playing
Yes.
against the Wallabies.
Yes.
What are we thinking, Brett? Do you sniff something in the water?
Okay, so firstly, yes, on SUPERBRU, I had Australia to win by 1 point.
Yeah.
And then Razor watched our episode, all of our episodes, where we said that Bowden Barrett needs to start. And then he put Bowden Barrett there because he watched our episode where we
Start at
bashed.
10, by the way. Yeah.
Yes, yeah, starting at 10, that's what I mean. And then I had to change it again. So I went back to backing New Zealand because we've all been saying Bowden Barrett needs to be your 10 if you want to play competitive rugby.
Yeah.
And now that he's at 10, now it's a proper dead rubber game for me. But Nick White has been dropped. So now I'm changing it again because now I have more hope for Australia.
Yeah, but it's still Tate McDermott's on the bench. He needs to start. He needs to start. But Brett, I'm a guy for battles. Tell me how saucy isn't the battle. Rob Valentini, Fraser McWright, and what's it? Oh my goodness, his name's just slipped my mind. The captain. Let me get it. It slipped my mind. I feel so stupid. Harry Wilson. And Harry Wilson.
I said Wilson.
Oh, sorry, I didn't listen. Harry Wilson.
Oh, but then now you made me doubt myself. I said Wilson, and then you're like,
no, sorry, my apologies. I didn't hear. But those three, right? Rob Valentini, Fraser McWright, Harry Wilson versus Wallace Satiti, Sam Kane on his 100th game, who will probably be ready for this game, and Ari Savaya.
Mm-hmm.
If that doesn't make you stand, I don't know what will. I have no idea what will. That is scintillating. I'd watch a 3-on-3 game, just those three going at it.
Yeah, I agree because those three that you just mentioned from Australia had, like Fraser McWright, for example, had a blinder against the All Blacks. If he can just emulate, if he can play like he did, then we might be looking at another close game.
That guy is so talented. Him alone can win a game. I swear. Yeah. Him alone nearly won the game last weekend. Like, he was crazy good. I mean, if it wasn't for his try, obviously the pop ball inside, that was actually some Nick White magic, by the way. Yeah. But he kind of gave them that, just showed we have like the point of our toe still in this door. We're still in this game somehow.
Yeah.
Right? And then all of a sudden, the game just switched after that. He kicked a 22-22. I know it wasn't a 22-22, but it felt like it because he's a Lucy.
Yes.
Like, the guy's insane. And then, obviously, Tom Wright had a scintillating game. Like, this backline of the Wallabies, scary. They finally dropped Marika Korobetti, who's pushing like 69 years old. Okay? And they've gotten in Dylan Page, or Petch, however you pronounce it, who's been great for the Waratahs. He's a strong boy. He's a big, strong boy.
He's a big boy, yes. That excites me as well. But you know what excites me the most is, remember on that other play.
Sorry, I'm being called.
By who?
Wait, I'm filming.
By who?
My wife.
Anyway, in the beginning of the Rugby Championship, on that other platform, every single content creator posted their predictions of who's going to end first, second, third, fourth. And every single one, the people from Scotland, you know who you are if you're watching this, all the people from New Zealand, everybody posted it's going to be New Zealand, South Africa, Argentina, Australia. And I commented on every single one. And I made my own video where I said, guys, you're being ridiculous. It's disrespectful to South Africa. That's literally just won the World Cup. We are still good enough. It's not like we've lost any players besides bloody Dwayne Vermeulen. And I said it's going to be South Africa, Argentina, New Zealand, Australia. And if Australia can even a draw, I'll be happy with a draw.
For the first time in how long does that mean New Zealand gets third? Like forever?
Bro, I can't remember them ever getting third.
Well, to be fair, right, my predictions were South Africa, New Zealand. I went Australia and Argentina. So I've had an absolute bum prediction because I really thought Australia will do a lot better. But still, even though Australia's gotten the wooden spoon, they got smashed in one game, they've still impressed me, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I haven't been like it's all doom and gloom. Do you see how tight this rugby championship is? Like, I made a tweet literally today where I was like, this has to be the tightest one we've had in years in terms of if you take all four teams into consideration. Because South Africa, we beat New Zealand twice, right? But who also beat New Zealand? Argentina. Who beat South Africa? Argentina. But who did Argentina lose to? They lost to New Zealand. They lost to Australia. Australia just pulled New Zealand very close, you know?
Yes.
Usually it's just like South Africa or New Zealand. One of them are going to run away with it, and those two teams are going to beat each other. Or maybe the Wallabies will pull off an upset victory, but they'll never really be in the running for it. We've had so many close games. We've had games that are literally halftime, the game switches around. We've had one literally last weekend, where in the middle of the first half, the game just switches around. So it's
Yeah.
been a scintillating tournament. I think it's been one of the best we've had in
Yes.
years.
I agree. I completely agree. Regardless of who's first, second, third, or fourth, I agree with that statement. It's been there's been times where Argentina would play Australia, and I wouldn't even watch the game, because it's no point. And also Argentina can be very proud because their June internationals, they were shit. They were so shit.
Against a third team France team.
Exactly. They were so shit. I thought they're gonna come to this rugby championship and get obliterated by everybody. And it contradicts what I just said about my predictive lineup. But from June, that's what I thought. I thought, guys, you can't be this gack.
Yeah. No, I fully agree with you. Like, that's what gives me confidence. I know we're supposed to talk about the All Blacks game, right? But Argentina has won one, lost one against every single team. France, Australia, New Zealand, they're not pulling two over South Africa. If they ever had to be consistent, this Saturday's not the day. It's not the day. Okay? I don't care. It's not the day. We can't allow it. But anyway, by the way, going back onto the Wallabies versus New Zealand, right? The Wallabies, I've seen a couple of New Zealand people, like on different social medias, taking the piss with Manie Lubbock having to take the kicking duties. Obviously, he's not taking it now. Well, they stuck with the guy that they saw as Manie Lubbock taking the kicking duties because there's no one else going to kick. It's going to be Bodie Barrett to take the kicking duties. And if he doesn't kick well, I can see them losing the game. I don't have them losing the game. I don't. I've got the All Blacks winning by 8 points and breaking the hoodoo over them, this Wellington thing. But Bodie Barrett, they are not allowed to take the piss when they have Bodie Barrett taking the kicking duties.
Also, Geordie Barrett's ACL is injured, so he's also not playing. Leonard Brown can't kick. Ioane can't kick. No,
That's what I'm saying. They don't have another kicker unless they bring on David Avili in minute 30. But it is what it is. By the way, well done to David Avili finally getting back. But this was the ultimate opportunity to finally play Billy Proctor.
Yes.
It's like, okay, well, the center combination is done with Geordie Barrett. So let's just put Ioane on the wing and we go with Anton Lennon-Brown and Billy Proctor. Or David Avili and Billy Proctor.
Yes. I'd rather go with that because this combination with Rico Ioane and Anton Leonard-Brown, that Anton Leonard-Brown is a 13. He's not a 12.
Where's the creativity, Brett?
We just spoke about this in our last episode about Creel and it's going to be exactly the same. He's going to not be as good of a 12 than he is a 13. And with Rico Ioane actually being a wing, now playing 13, that combination I don't think is going to work well.
Yeah. Well, who do you have to win then?
Sorry?
Who do you have to win then?
I'm going to stick with Australia. I probably am going to get this one horribly wrong, but I'm going to stick with Australia.
This, you know what this reeks of? I know I just said the All Blacks by 8. It's either going to be a 1-2 point Australia game or New Zealand's going to blow them out of the water and it's not even going to be funny.
Exactly.
This game just reeks of it. It'll be a stamp of authority or like, oh shit, what just happened?
Yeah.
Either way, I just feel like that. I just feel like that. But anyway, Brett, it's 2 games. Okay, let's wrap it up. We are tired.
Okay.
We'll wrap it up. The people can talk in the comments.
Did my 19 yawns give it away?
Yeah. By the way, please do remember to like and subscribe. I did forget to say that once again. But we do appreciate each and every one of you guys. And we will see you on Monday. Hopefully with a smile. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Did we give our predictions?
Yeah. Well, I said with 8 points. You said by 1.
And the Boks?
Oh,
you did I? No.
You said by 20 or more. I said 12.
You
That's why I
said
said
either
between
that-
10, 12, or 15.
Okay, so make up your mind now. Is it 10, 12,
Okay,
or
12. Box by 12.
15? Okay, okay, bye.
Bye.